All right, Theory versus Mixu here once again. Infernal versus Vanguard. Immediate Iron Vault going down. Now, the Theory games, and we don't know, is this just how Theory plays? Is this just how, Infernal plays? And the thing is, like, these guys, they're very strong players and stuff. They're definitely up at the top of the game, but, like, the more competitive something gets, the more, like, evolution you see as far as strategy goes. So, like, let's say that the way that each of these players is playing is indicative of what the current metagame is for all top players. Even if that were the case, you would have to say, like, oh, okay, but, like, let's say every StarCraft 2 player was playing this full-time. The metagame would evolve a lot quicker, and other things would be figured out, and that type of thing. Yeah, so it's just, like, a little bit hard to say definitively on anything. I never really try to think about, like, balance of unit stats too deeply, because that's kind of an easy thing to fix as you figure it out. You can tweak it a little bit in one direction or another, but more the general game flow that's encouraged by the design. I think that's the important thing to really look at. And that's what I've been kind of vocal on as far as map size, as far as maybe too many creep camps. Those have been the two main things that I've spoken about. That last game, we did not see too much creeping, but there was a little bit, and some of it was kind of impactful for what types of shrines were gotten, right? Like, the speed camp helped the Vectors go in and get some good harassment on Mixu, for instance. And then Mixu was still, able to come back and win that anyways. But, if we're going to have some camps that actually give some kind of, like, interesting bonuses, it's like, oh, you want to heal up at that camp? Okay, that could be interesting in a way. Oh, a speed camp? In my opinion, the speed camp is the most interesting of all. Just because, well, that's what you want. You want stuff to be fast, to be able to move around quickly, so that there's, like, a lot of a lot of decisions to make, things like that. By the way, the terrain looks like quite improved. I do want to give a shout out to that. All right, clearing everything out, getting the speed camp. Same type of battle going on over here at the side. Yeah, the double lance are going to clear through this pretty quick. The thing, okay, so, and, like, I'm just not a fan of creeps in RTS games regardless. But yeah, I don't want to be a broken record, but I guess I haven't spoken about Stormgate in a while, so I do just want to kind of mention some of my thoughts on it. But, like, when I'm watching this, right, like, how many times are we going to see the Lancers and two pups clear that creep camp in the same way? Like, is that going to get more interesting? No. It's, it's like you'll eventually figure out these really good tricks and everything. Now, when it can become interesting is when your opponent is also there, because that makes, like, a huge amount of variation as to what can be attacked, as to, like, the ordering, the micro, everything, right? So, like, that's why I feel like creep camps in the center of the map make a lot more sense, whereas these very fringe on the side camps are simply not entertaining to watch. It's like you're clearing a camp that's, let's say you clear that camp 90% of the time on your own, single player. Nothing interesting about that as far as, like, entertainment value or replayability even for good players. Now this, it's like, oh, okay, this happened right at the end, but say he's there 10 seconds before. Okay, now we have a really interesting scenario. Now, is that a complete jack where he just steals it? Okay, well, maybe we should have gone at a different timing. That's where we get, like, a lot of interesting ideas. That's, that's what I want to see. Those types of things. Now, Mixu is actually moving up for a little bit of an attack here. The Lancer's very, very beefy there in the front. But yeah, the Magmadon's doing a good job pushing them back. Exo's targeting the Magmadons down. Almost gets that one. It's very low. Okay, does pick that one off. Trying to kite back now. Getting a little bit low on some of these. The Gaunt's trying to get some picks, and in fact, they will. And of course, the Fiends can definitely help out. You know, I'm sitting here thinking deeply on the creep camps a bit more. Okay, this is very nice. So I'll shut up and take a look at this. Some nice harassment leading in with those lancers, and then just letting the Exos pick off some imps. Really, really good. Mixu much more on top of this game. Much better game than the first one that we saw between these two. Just being a little bit annoying there. Yeah, we have the Harbinger drop coming in now. Yeah, trying to target this down. The Bob's trying to repair a little bit. Those sentry posts do, like, no damage, man. Gotta have something in there. All right, the Exos right now doing a great job kiting against this. Always feels like a little bit of a problem for Infernal when the Exos get a little bit out of control with the kiting. Does use that AoE there to slow them a little bit, some of the back ones. Now reducing that Gaunt count a bit. Harbinger being sent off. Okay, so Mixu seems to have taken a big chunk of the map. He's cleared quite a bit of the areas in here. He's really being super active, harassing a lot. One thing to note is, like, I mean, he made an initial few Lancers, but it doesn't feel like Lancers are really a part of the plan. Like, these Exos are kind of doing everything on their own. Kind of like we saw the Vectors from Oriel. So these guys are kind of massing up some of the faster units that have some range to them. Doing a good job with them. Yeah, the evac comes in and actually saves a few of these. Drops them behind the trees, so that's kind of a nice move. But yeah, the Doomsday are going to go ahead and knock down those trees. So they do have to back up for now. They are pretty low there. All right, now having some medtechs mixed in here for a bit of heal. That's nice. Medtech Exo drop. All right, very cool, very cool. Oh, targets down the Shadow Flyer so he doesn't lose the evac. I like it. Really good micro there. Oh, and he loses it. I'm surprised. I have to say, I am surprised that the Hellborns shoot up. I don't believe they did that before, if I'm not mistaken. That's a more recent change. That's actually that's something I was mentioning before, like Argents shoot up, which I think is weird as well. I don't know, some of these units that feel like they shouldn't be hitting air are makes air units feel maybe not as impactful. All right, nice little jump in here through these trees. Killing off a fair amount. Oh, nice stun there from the Vulcan. I like it. So I think that this is a great example of, in my opinion, where we have just too much health. Like, that Magmadon should have been screwed. It overextended, it got stunned, it got targeted by the entire army, and then it got away. Right, a nice little back and forth battle here. Definitely those Hellborns feel like they're making the biggest difference. Wow, just blowing stuff up. I love it. And a bit of that white health back here on the Shroud. Yeah, Mixu is just everywhere, man. Honestly, it feels like Theory has done a really good job trying to come back here. He's expanded across a lot of the bottom. He is attacking the bottom right as well. So, like, some good micro on these, but he's hitting this base at the same time, which is good. Yeah, kind of a big counterattack here from Mixu, though. Gonna take out this shrine as well. It blows up a med tech pretty darn quick. Kind of interesting how he backs up, takes the health shrine to kind of reinforce his little harassment force there. But pushing in from both sides now, I think we're about to have Mixu win this. Seems like Theory just doesn't have much left over. Shrine going to go down here as well. Very good game. Very nice game there. GG. Mixu going to take it down. All right, pretty well matched. Pretty well matched.